Hey everyone, I'm Nidoking, and we're in the final stretch of Prince of Persia, Warrior Within. We've just got this trap-filled corridor to go through in reverse. They made the door a bit easier to open this time. And all the familiar traps are right where they used to be. There's something nice about the familiar. And of course I mentioned before that we need to use this ledge to get up and over those bars because there's no way we can pass the spikes otherwise. This could be tricky. Get down. Thank you. Or that crazy physics. And not really sure where to go from here. I guess I gotta go over that way. And that's a pretty long jump. Alright, obviously not that way. Let's try the other way. Oh, hey, it's a chest I didn't get before. And another long jump. Think I can make this one. You've never heard of pulling up short, maybe? Just straight down, maybe? Nope. Okay, I have no clue where I am supposed to go right now. I can't even hang off that ledge. Yeah, I'm not even going to try it. This is bad. I should really remember this. I mean, this is just retracing my steps. Oh, there we go. I think you could drop from the far edge of the rail as well. But this works. All it cost me was a bit of time and a lot of health. And then I get caught in 3 explosions. All in a day's work. So that way I think leads back to the library. Or no, the library is 1 floor down. How the heck do I get down from here? I think there was something... There it is, over on the far side. The little thing I can grab onto. Or I can't grab onto it. Okay, what gives? See down there, there's no way I'm going to survive that fall. Oh, there we go. I mentioned before that this was a shortcut. I just didn't mention which direction it was a shortcut for. Now we climb down the outside of this thing. And that gets us safely down a level. And this is where I came out of the library before. I hear that if you actually go back through that door and return to the library, it breaks the game. That's not really news at this point. That's just pretty much anything you do. We've been through this enough times, I don't think we really need to see it all at normal speed. Hey, our friend the Golem is back. Even sped up, that seems to take forever. Anyone getting tired of this passage yet? I'm not. That one's actually kind of fun. Alright, back to normal speed because something really important is going to happen. You might remember what happened when the prince returned along this path before. And if you don't, well, don't worry about it. I pretty much never remember what happens in games after it happens. But we've just got to traverse this corridor one final time. And again, this could be a place where if you don't have the bridge to the mechanical tower raised, you'll get into trouble.
Tell me I'm not too late. All is happening as before. No, I must not let him pass. I'm sorry. The mask. It's loose.
So there we go, we're down to a single prince again, and the paradox is resolved. No, it doesn't work that way! That doesn't explain anything! But ultimately, who cares? I just gotta go and fight the final boss one last time. Yeah, I don't need to watch my health quite as much anymore because it's not draining, but I also have a limited sand supply again. Not that anything here is much of a threat. One final save, and I'm going to preserve this one.
Time is running low. You ready? I've been thinking, Kailina. There is little for you on this island, and there will be less still once I've stood before your mistress. Come with me to Babylon. You'll have a chance to begin a new life, free from the evils of this place.
I'm sorry, Prince, but I cannot take you up on your offer.
Yep, same thing as before. And there's the water sword still sitting there. But instead, sit back and enjoy the best cutscene in the game.
It doesn't have to end this way. Come with me, into the present.
So you can kill me in your own time instead of mine? I'm sorry, Prince, but only one of us can cheat fate today.
Kailina, Empress, listen!
No! You listen! The timeline has said you will kill me, but I will change the timeline!
Alright, Phase 1 of the plan worked, and Phase 2 is where the game usually breaks down for people. Remember how all that time ago I told you never use a sand portal more than you have to? The way out of this room is caved in. The only way out is through that sand portal. And if you screwed anything up anywhere along the game, when you step into that portal, nothing will happen. You will be trapped. Fortunately, I was careful. But this is where the game ends for so many people, and the only thing you can do about it is start over and do all of it again. That's how my first time through the game ended. Otherwise, this is a very good place to save, but make sure you save over a new file if you didn't get the water sword. You're going to want to go back for it. I was also planning this to be the end of the video, but that's a pretty short video. So, skillful edit, and now we're off to fight the final boss. Fortunately, this is all pretty familiar territory, so I know in the PS2 version the enemies respawn in this room. This version they don't, which is quite nice. I don't really feel like fighting guys on my way to fight Kylina. Especially the one on the wall there. But this is basically just filler. Nice pool of water in case you actually need to refill any health. One final secondary weapon in case you don't have a glowing sword.
I know what you've seen, what you think you've seen in the timeline.
Then you know I have no choice.
There is always a choice, Kylina.
Then I choose to live. And for you to die.
You'd think he could do a better job of explaining himself than that, but nope. And for the most part, this fight goes about the same way that it did the first time. She's got all the same moves, but she's also got one or two new ones. That's one of them. I didn't activate Eye of the Storm there. She did. And as before, Ravages of Time is a terrible counter. Not only does it cost 2 sand tanks, which you can't really afford to give up, but she has a very strong immunity to it. On the other hand, failing to activate your Eye of the Storm and slow her down is disastrous. I'm going to try to preserve my sand tank there. And she just takes it right out of me. I'm not happy with that, so I'll rewind, but because time was moving so slowly, I can't rewind very much. Also, not a good counter to try rewinding after she's done her damage.
We can change our fate. This isn't what happened the first time we fought.
The first time?
That's what I've been trying to tell you. If you just let me
No
explain.
more words, Prince. If you've only things to say and nothing to show, then let us finish this.
I'm sorry.
The weird thing is, what she means by show is unintuitive. Especially if you know what it is. But this is her new move. Instead of summoning guards, who can give you extra sand tanks and secondary weapons, you just have to run away from these tornadoes. It's kind of a pain and goes on pretty much forever. And those things will really, really hurt. The good news is, when they dissipate, they do drop sand tanks. You just have to see them and go pick them up. I didn't really do that very much this fight. And finally she makes her way to the ground. Here is the proper counter to her Eye of the Storm. Just slow down time yourself, and she's pretty much helpless for the duration. And the rest of it is exactly the same fight as it was before, staying out of her reach when she's doing her long attack combos, and then going in afterward for however many hits you can score. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and risk a rewind. Limits my sand supply, which is unfortunate, but I think I can pull this one off. Every time she just summons the tornadoes, which she's going to do a couple more times, you get 3 free sand tanks. Almost got caught there, but I didn't. You pretty much want her to be in the center of the room when she's doing this, just because that makes it easier to run circles around her, which helps you with dodging the tornadoes. As it is, I'm just going to keep running around and rolling whenever one of them gets close, which seems to pretty much prevent the damage. I'm just going to take that hit because I need the sand more than I need the health right now. And whenever you're ready to come down, we can get back to fighting. Yeah, if you stay at a distance, then she's going to activate Eye of the Storm a lot more often. If you've got the sand to counter, then it's pretty much your best option. Once again, I guess wrong and go the wrong direction. Oh, I didn't even know you could counter that. That's probably a better option, too. Yeah, I know I don't like being one hit from death, but I'm so close. There we go.
Your time would be better spent seeking sanctuary.
I will kill you!
I do not want to hurt you, Kylina, but I cannot allow that to happen.
Noble words. Well, all I gotta do is last against these tornadoes without any rewinds available. One hit from death. And then I've got 3 rewinds in which to score a perfect victory against Kylina's last round of attacks. Stop looking at the timer. This is supposed to be suspenseful. Alright, try and catch her as she drops down from the tornado. Alright, that did great. And I can't rewind. The game screws me out of even having a chance. Well, that's alright. We'll just do all that over again. This time, a little bit more fighting strategy will be involved. And when I do that flip, I realize my glowing sword is gone. I gotta fight her all on one weapon. Oh well, not pleasant, but it can be done. You want to stay away from the edge in this fight as much as you can. If you get caught hanging off the edge, she can glitch out and just end your game right there. You gotta restore. Actually, I guess you might be able to die and retry if you just let go of the ledge. Actually, that charge attack during Eye of the Storm was really effective. I think I'm just going to take some more swords to the face, though. Alright, tornado time, and see, this time I'm actually in really good shape, because I didn't waste a Ravages, I didn't waste a Rewind. It's almost like, when you know what you're doing, it's not a very difficult fight. I'd say this is probably significantly easier than the first one, just because you have the flexibility of Eye of the Storm, and a great Q when to use it. You've got 6 sand tanks, and you pick up these refills during the fight. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and just rewind that bit of damage there, because it's essentially free. 6 more sand tanks, 3/4 of the battle left. Let's go. Whenever you're ready. Backstabs. I'm trying to jump over her, but I guess while she's in the middle of being hit, it doesn't work. Ow. Trying to keep my distance through the whole attack. Trying to counter. That was a weird time for her to do that. I think I was almost displaying more competence the first time around. Almost got caught again. I always want to attack her out of that cutscene. You know, like you did with Shadi, and that's when you did most of your damage. It always means she's about to go into her tornado and start throwing these things around. I'm not even really sure which sand power this corresponds to, if any. I mean, is this the Cyclone of Fate? Just miscellaneous dust devils being thrown around the arena? Fight would be kind of cool if she used rewinds, but that just seems like it would be a pretty pointless battle mechanic. Okay, you did some damage, and now you gotta do the same damage again. There we go. If you don't block her teleport attacks, then you get a good chance to counter. Alright, I think I'm getting the pattern now. And it's about time. One more cutscene. It's always after that last cutscene where I die. That's the worst of it. I mean, if I were to totally screw up and just die right at the beginning of the boss fight, it wouldn't be all that bad, but I was getting almost all the way through. Didn't think it was really fair she summoned that tornado right on top of me, but I'm still only missing 2 sand tanks and I'm gonna get 3 back. I can hear the rush of the wind as it passes by. I thought that one was gone. Oh well, okay, this time waiting at as great a distance as I possibly can until I know my rewind is going to work in case something really catastrophic happens. And again, I guess countering is mostly safe, but it seems like she's always going to slow down time while you're in the middle of it. And I'm just going to go ahead and take a bunch of damage now. She's almost dead. I actually think I can afford to be frivolous. And that seals her fate.
I'm sorry. If only it didn't have to end this way.
You've saved yourself, it seems, my prince. But still I become the sands. There will be others like the Maharaja, braggarts and fools who will quest for the sands and find them. My vengeance will be unleashed once more on your world.
No, no! How is this possible? The sands are here in the present, not in the hourglass. Huh? It is the sands that should no longer exist in the timeline. The Dahaka is doing its job. Not only have I saved myself, I have eliminated the sands of time. What? What do you want? The amulet. The last relic of the sands of time. Can it be? I have changed my fate. Soon I will be home.
You cannot change your fate. No man can.
What have I done?
Well, I'd say that what you've done is left your city, Babylon, to be burned because you were too busy trying to save your own life, at the end of which you still didn't get the girl. And there's not really a whole lot of sequel potential in the complete non-existence of the Sands of Time. Not to mention the giant paradox you've undoubtedly caused. I think maybe we can get a better ending than that. What do you say? See you next time for the true finale of Prince of Persia, Warrior Within.